Hello once again. Good afternoon from the beautiful city of Port Harcourt in Rivers State of Nigeria. This is Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwucholoba coming to you once again this beautiful afternoon, Facebook Live. So who is here with me? Who is excited with me? Who is ready to go on this journey today? Who is ready to learn? Who is ready to practice the things we are learning? Who is ready to grow? Who is ready to grow with me this beautiful afternoon? Yeah, it's actually a beautiful afternoon today in the city of Port Harcourt. The sun is out, but it's not too much. Yeah. It's just enough. It's not too much that you'll be upset by the heat. It's just enough to keep you warm and not cold. So yes, it's a beautiful day in the city of Port Harcourt, and welcome to Growth Habits. Who is here with me this afternoon? Who has joined me? Oh, good morning if you're joining me from the other side of the world, and good evening also if you're joining me from like the likes of Australia and such. I'm so glad to have you here this afternoon. It is always a pleasure to spend this 30 minutes to 45 minutes with each and every one of you. I welcome those that will join us later on the replay, that will decide to take out time and watch this on the replay. Please, if you are joining, you're watching on the replay, let me know in the comment section that you are watching the replay and not on the live section. So thank you very much for joining me once again. I am Ngozi Onwucholoba, and I am your personal guide in the journey of growth. I will take you by the hands and I will lead you on this journey. I will show you the ways that I have gone, the things that I have done that have helped me, and I believe that as you apply same in your own life, you will also get similar results. So as I promised us, from next week, yes, we will begin to have the sessions once a week. And along the line, we'll begin to bring in people that will share their journey of growth, that will share with us what they did, how they were able to overcome the activities that they carried out, what did they apply that led them to where they are today. So they will share their own personal journeys with us, and we would move on from there. So once again, welcome to Growth Habits. My name once again is Ngozi Onwucholoba. All right, so we have been on this journey for this is the 9th session. Wow. Like I said, when I started, this was really me coming out of my comfort zone. This was me trying to do something different. And when I started, I didn't even think I would continue it. But here I am, session number 9. Wow. So on our first session, I just like to do a recap for those that maybe this is your first time of joining us, so that you have an idea what we have done. Even for those that have joined from the beginning, it will just refresh your mind, refresh your memory on the things that we have talked about, the things that we have spoken about. So the first session, we just generally did a discussion on what is growth, and we agreed that growth is a process. And we can see that as we have been going on, that truly is a process. It's something that happens every day. It's something that happens continually. There is no end to growth until you die. Actually, you keep on growing, you keep on improving, you keep on expanding, you keep on, learning. In our second session, we talked about the mindset that is needed for you to experience growth, especially when you want the growth to be exponential, you want the growth to be impactful. And we agree that that mindset has to be a mindset that does not give up, that does not think, oh, this, like for example, I just don't know maths and that's it, I'm an art student, and you restrict yourself completely like that. That will never lead you to grow. Definitely you can't make any good progress in growth if you believe that, this is just me, there's nothing I can do, this is just it, I'm an art student, for example, or I'm a math student, I can't be creative. No. So we agree that that is not the way to grow. For you to grow, you have to believe that you can change. It is possible to change. All right, the third session, we talked about our habits, the daily habits we apply that will help us to grow. And the important thing actually is that it's daily habits. It's not just to have habits, but that they are something you do every day and you become comfortable with them, in quotes. Yes, they basically become a part of you. Okay, and we also accepted that for you to develop these habits, you have to understand yourself. You have to know who you are and where you are. When you do this, you'll be able to select the habits that are best suited for you, because truly there is no one size fits all. There is no one size fits all. By the time other people come on here and share their growth journeys, you will see that there is no one size fits all. You have to tailor the growth, the journey to you. All right, on our fourth session, we talked about our circle of friends. And we told us to ensure that in that circle, we have people who are whose present is our future. So that's people who are living that life you want to live, that place you want to get to, someone that's already there. Ensure that such a person is in your circle of friends, and also someone that's also where you are and heading in the same direction. What we'll talk about today will be an offshoot of that circle of friends discussion. That was our fourth session. Yeah, our fifth session, we talked about measuring growth. And we told ourselves that growth is all measurement. Sorry, is all about data. So if you don't have any data about your journey, you will not be able to measure. Excuse me. If you're growing, you will not know. So it's very essential to monitor where you are and where you want to be. Have a record of where you are and where you want to be. Then you'll be able to check: am I making progress or am I static? That was our fifth session. In our sixth session, we talked about balancing inputs and outputs. And we agreed that most people, we know all our outputs. That's all the activities, the things we do, our ministry, our work, our job, our family. Those are the outputs, the efforts we put into all those things. But what of what comes in? Do we take time to replenish, or we just keep giving until all is gone? And in that session, we chose to concentrate on rest, because many of us, we do not rest. In any way, we do not rest. We keep giving and giving and giving until it's all gone and we come out empty. So we spoke about rest, the different types of rest, and I gave us different aspects of rest. And I also remember that I told her that we can check out my Instagram page, because I did a full 1 month discussion on rest. So you can still go back there and look at the postings there. Oh, welcome, Doshimada. I'm so glad to have you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I think this is your first session. I don't think I've noticed you before, but thank you for joining. Welcome, and welcome, Kelechi. I'm glad to have you. You have been one of the very regular ones. I think we were there from the beginning. So thank you very much for joining us once again today. I was talking about balancing input and output, and I told us about this, the study I did, or the program for rest, that is in my Instagram, on my Instagram page. It's at Ngozeka O. So you can check that out. You see a full 1 month discourse on rest. Welcome, precious Chijak. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate. In our, where are we? We are 6, right? In our recap, 6, yes, 6 session. The 7th session was to get out of your comfort zone. Yes, I told us that nothing grows in the comfort zone. Nothing. There is no growth in the comfort zone. That place where you are comfortable, you are here, and you're not ready for any growth, you're not ready for any movement, you're not ready for any advancement, please run out of there. Nothing grows there. When I started, I told her that this is me coming out of my comfort zone. I am very okay where I am with my whatever it is I'm doing at any point in time. I don't always feel the need to come out like this, but I just have to take this step and step out of that comfort zone. And honestly, it has been amazing what people have shared with me on just these things I'm just sharing that look like they're just things, they're just information, but they're actually affecting people's lives, and people are learning and growing from it. Thank you for joining me, Chimezie, Runaway Soldier. Thank you for joining me. I'm so glad to have you. Sachidi Otanmiri, thank you so much for joining today. Charity, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that was our 7th session, get out of your comfort zone. On our 8th session, that was on Tuesday, we spoke about identifying your blind spots. And welcome, Major. Thank you so much. And I remember that we talked about being able to get someone else to look at us, that is to be our mirror from the back, so that we can see our blind spots, our weaknesses. Most times we don't know our weaknesses. There are some that we know because we are human beings, but most times we don't really know our core weaknesses. So when we are able to put a mirror behind us, which is asking someone to assess us, objective assessment, no holds barred assessment, we will get some information that ordinarily we would not get about ourselves. And as we apply the things that we learned from that analysis that the person did, that assessment, we will find that our growth is exponential once we learn from those things. So that was what we spoke about last time. And today, this afternoon, we are going to talk about learning from people who inspire you. As I said, this is kind of an offshoot from the session 4. Session 4 that talked about our circle of friends. And it sounds like, how is it they call it? Is it tautology they call it? Of course, it's a no-brainer. That's the word, yes. It sounds like a no-brainer. Of course, I would learn from people who inspire me. That is why they inspire me. But let me tell you, what I have discovered is that most times we do not learn from the people that inspire us. Yes, we go about saying this person is an inspiration. We go about saying even that this person is a mentor to me. We call their names as our mentors. We say it anywhere we are asked. But truly, honestly, what have you learned from those people? Have you even taken the time to study the person, the life of that person that you say inspires you? Did you do a research on them? Did you try to find out what do they believe? Did you try to find out what did they do? See, many of us, we have so many people that are inspirations to us, but we have not bothered to take the time to study those people and then take the lessons from their lives. And that is what I want us to discuss today. I myself have fallen guilty of this severally. I can name the number of people that I feel are inspirations to me, but truly I know nothing about them. I'm only seeing their now. I'm only seeing their lives now. The person they have become, the success that they have become. I did not take time to learn how did they get from point A to point B. And because of that, they only, their inspiration to me is only emotions. It doesn't go beyond emotions. So when we don't take time to study truly the lives of those we say inspire us, and try to take lessons from their lives, it ends at the surface level. It ends at the emotional level. We truly don't gain from them. We truly don't. We just fantasize about becoming that person because they inspire us. So the question I want us to ask ourselves, think about those people or that one person. It might be one person, it might be two, it might be three. The number is not really relevant right now. Think about that person that you think or you believe inspires you. As you're thinking about that person, what are the qualities about that person that inspires you? Just take a minute, think about it. What truly about this person inspires you? If you're able to get this idea of what is it, what are the qualities of that person that inspires you, the next question to ask yourself is, how did this person develop these qualities? So that you see, by the time you do this, this is just two questions. This is just two things you have asked yourself about this person that inspires you. And you will find that in most cases, we don't know the answers. We have not even really sat down to figure out what is it, what qualities in this person inspires us. It could just be, oh, it's successful. I'm an accountant. Oh, I see a successful accountant doing things. Oh, this is my inspiration. I don't know about that person. I don't know what exactly this person did. I don't. I've not even sat down to consider what qualities about this person is really inspiring me. What really is it? What really is it about this person that is inspiring me? Is it just the noise? Is it just the fame? Is it just because they're out there? Everybody knows them. It could be. Many times that is what inspires us about people. They are well known. Welcome, Uchoma. I think this is the first time I'm seeing you join one of these sessions. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you today. So, what is it about that person that truly inspires you? And as you think about this, begin to ask yourself, okay, I've identified the characteristics in this person that inspires me. Do I have any of these characteristics myself? Is there any of it in existence in me? And if I have some, how can I improve it? What can I do to even gain some if I don't have them at all? But you see, in asking this third question, you have to understand the person that you're trying to, learn from. How did they develop those characteristics? Was it inborn? See, because sometimes we're inspired by people who have some qualities that are inborn in them and not in us. So how do you do? What do you do? But if you have not taken time to study this person, you wouldn't realize, you wouldn't know that these characteristics you are loving about the person is inborn. You wouldn't know. You would just assume that, the person is whatever. I don't even know which characteristics to raise up now. Okay, for example, let me say that is an accountant. The person is very articulate. They are very, careful with figures. Is it an inborn characteristic? Or is it something they developed? I wouldn't know unless I study the life of that person. And when I study the life of that person, then I would know that, oh, this was inborn. This person was just, they had the knack for figures from day one. And me, I don't have the knack for figures, which means I have to develop it. I now have to work on myself to be able to be articulate like that person. But once again, if I hadn't taken the time to study that person, to know a little bit about them, I would just be flogging myself because I'm not as articulate as them. I would just be flogging myself because I'm not as careful with figures as they are. Have we seen the benefits of being able to study the person that is inspiring you so that you can learn from them? If not, they just remain a mirage. The person will remain a future figure that you will never attain to. They will just remain your model, and you will never come close to being like them. They will just be a future figure, up there. And you will not learn from them. You will not be able, even if the person is a celebrity, and that is just the person that inspires you, read up. There must be something online somewhere about that person. Read up. Find out about that person that's inspiring you. See, when you do this, sometimes you find that truly the person you think is inspiring you, you have no business that person being an inspiration to you. Sometimes. But at times, you will now also find that I have quite a lot of work to do on me before I can be like that person. This is why it is so important to study. Don't just say, oh, this is my inspiration. For some people, Barack Obama is my inspiration. Yes, we can. What about Barack Obama? Have you read the book he wrote about his life? Have you read it? Do you understand what he went through? Do you understand the journey he went through? Do you understand the road he traveled? Or you say as a woman, oh, Michelle Obama is it? Because I'm trying to use people that I know that a lot of people look up to. A lot of people set them up as their role models, as their inspiration in life. Michelle Obama, what about Michelle Obama? What is it about her that inspires you? What characteristics does she have that you think you need? Have you read her book, Becoming? Do you know who she is? Do you understand her life? Do you understand her life processes? Do you understand the journey that she went through? No. But yet, Michelle Obama is your moral model. She's the one that's inspiring you. So take out time to study the person that is meant to be, or the person you have accepted as your role model, because I can't tell you who can be your role model. Anybody. Some even say my role model is Christ. I've heard it. My role model is Christ, and yet you know absolutely nothing about Christ. It's not just that you read your Bible. You know nothing about the man called Christ. What kind of life did he live? Do you really truly know? Have you taken time to study? Have you taken time to question? Have you taken time to figure out what truly about Christ am I trying to imbibe? Because see, whoever is your role model, whoever is the person that is inspiring you, you cannot be 100% that person. It's an impossibility. It's not every single thing about that person that you need to take, that you need to imbibe. Remember when we talked about habits, that we said that you have to understand yourself. You have to know you, who you are, and who you are trying to become before you'll be able to know the habits that will fit into this your life, this your journey. The same with whomever you decide is your role model, your inspiration in life, the person that you look up to. Take time and look at that person's life and then check whether truly this fits into this journey that I am going on of growth. Does it truly fit? Can I really imbibe the characteristics of this person? Even the good ones, as in the good characteristics that the person has, the good attitude, the good values that the person has, is not all that will work for you. It's not all. That is why you have to take time to study. You can't learn from someone you do not know. The learning most times does not stick because you don't know the basis. You don't know what the person did to get this result. And because you don't know what they did to get the result, you will not know how to do to get your own result. So you see that it is so possible to have somebody as your inspiration in life and you're not learning a thing from that person. You're only being moved by the emotions of that person. You're being moved by the aura, by the charisma of that person, and you're learning absolutely nothing from their lives. So today, like I said, our topic is learn from people who inspire you. Learn from them. Don't just follow them. Don't just admire their good life. Learn. And this learning is an active learning. Follow, read their stories, find out about them. Who are they really? What steps did they take? What did they do to get from point A to point B? Was it fake it till you make it? Was that what they did? Would that work for you? Would that really work for you? Or was the person, a very studious person? Can you do so? Is it for you? So take out time. Why should you even learn from that person that inspires you? Why? Because when you study, for example, let's say, let me use myself as an example. Let's say I am the person that inspires you and I'm the role model you want to follow. What knowledge do you know that I have? What do you know what mistakes did I make in life that you now should avoid? Because is that not the essence of learning from somebody? The essence is, one, to draw the knowledge, whatever knowledge that person has, to draw it out so that you can apply it. Secondly, so that the places or the areas they made mistakes, you can avoid the pitfalls that they just managed to escape, even the ones they fell into, so that you don't have to fall into it too. If that is the essence of learning from someone, so how can you learn from someone you don't know their story? It's not possible because you don't know their story. You don't truly know the knowledge they have. It could all that you're following, all that is inspiring you about that person could just be facade. It could just be social media hype. You don't know. You don't know. So it is essential that you get to know, study. See, we have so much available to us that we do not use. See this internet. It is a wealth of information. Forget the bad things there. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad in the internet. But you can study somebody's life on the internet. You can get an idea. If the person is not someone close that you can ask questions. Like the example I gave of Michelle Obama or Barack Obama. Welcome, Mike. I'm glad to have you this afternoon. These ones have even written books that give you an idea, that give you an insight into their lives. Have you read their books? So how do you learn from them if you've not even read the book that they wrote? You don't have any insight into their lives. So what is inspiring you about them? Is it what is shown on TV? What you see on television? What you see on Instagram? What you see on Facebook about them? That is the life they're projecting. That's not necessarily their life. Even the books might not give you the full story, but by the time you take the book the person wrote about their life, you take it, you take what you're seeing on social media about the person, you do a little bit more research into the person's life. By the time you put them all together, you kind of get a story of that person's life. And from there, you can take what you want to take and let go what you do not need. So yes, how do you know the mistakes that the person has made? Because truly, learning is being able to learn from people's mistakes also. But if you don't know their mistakes, you can't learn. You can't learn. The person cannot really inspire you. Another thing that you derive from learning from someone else is that it builds confidence, a kind of confidence in you, so that you know that, oh, since this person was able to achieve this, I also can. At least I can try, if nothing else. At least I can make an attempt. So it builds a confidence in you that, oh, if she can, I can also. You see how this comes back to the fact that if you don't know what the person did, how do you now say I can also? How do you build your confidence? More especially when that person is like somebody far away. If it's somebody that's close to you, it's easier. But if it's somebody that's far from you, that's not easily accessible to you, it becomes more difficult to say, oh, if they could do this, so can I. Simply because you're only seeing a part of them. And that part you're seeing, if you're not careful, can actually bring you down, can actually make you depressed. Because it looks like, they achieved so much. What's my own problem? Why can't I do same or likewise? Okay. I hope that I'm making sense. I hope we are gaining something from this talk this afternoon. I hope we are learning, and I hope we're planning to apply what we are learning. Yeah, because I like to repeat this because it's so important. Even if I talk for hours and hours and hours and share all that is in my heart and all that I have experienced in the past 50-something years of my life, and you're not applying the ones that relate to you, we are wasting time. Okay, I'm glad that we are gaining some value. Thank you, Charity and the Precious, for your comments. Yes. So the main aim of the talk today is to get us to sit down and study the people we think we want to follow, the people we think should be our role models, we think should be our mentors in life, we think should be our inspiration in life. Because remember that when we talked about friends, one of the friends that you should have is someone whose present is your future. Is that someone that I'm concentrating on today? Even if the person is not truly a friend, but let them be in your circle of relationship. And for that person to truly impact your life, and for you to be able to grow from the impact of that person in your life, you have to try to get to know the person. Try to get to know their struggles. Try to get to know their true journey. What they did. How did they move from point A to point B? How were they able to achieve the things they achieved? Because I can sit here and tell you that I became a success at the age of whatever age. And in fact, today I run businesses all around the world. I can tell you all that. And not a single part of it is true. And you will, based on what I have said, you will sit down and look at yourself and even one business you have not been able to do successfully. And then you're downcast and you're depressed and you're wondering what is wrong with you. But actually, nothing is wrong with you. It was just that you did not study my life to know my journey. And you now set me up as a role model for you to follow. You now set me up as the inspiration for your life. Remember that the things I talk about can be applied in every realm of life. It can be applied in our spiritual lives. You set up your pastor as your role model, and yet you don't know your pastor's life. You don't know his spiritual disciplines. You don't know whether he fasts every single day of the week. You don't know if he reads his Bible 5 hours a day. You don't know if he prays 20 hours out of the 24 hours in a day. You don't know. And yet you're modeling your life after him and you're trying to be like him. And yet you pray 30 minutes. You find it hard to fast. Tell me how you will grow. Tell me. Is it possible for you to grow in that situation? Or you want to be a business magnate and you see people, oh, my sister Peculiar, yes, let me use you as an example, welcome. You see people like Peculiar that's doing so well in their business and you don't know what she did. You don't know the principles she applied. You don't know whether she had sleepless nights. And you set her up as your model. And then you do maybe 1/10 of what she does. And of course, you don't have the same success that she has. You become depressed. Or in any other, whatever aspect of life we want to look at. Whatever aspect of life we want to consider. Learn from the people who inspire you. Ensure that you learn from them. Don't just set them up as models, build castles in the air with their lives without knowing who they are, without knowing how they got to where they are. I've heard people say that their role model, the person that inspires them in life, is Oprah Winfrey. What do they? I now go ahead and ask. So, who really is Oprah Winfrey? How did she get to where she is today? They don't know. They have no idea. So how? How will you learn from Oprah Winfrey if you know nothing about her? You don't know her journey. So, yes, welcome, Josephine. I'm glad you're here. Yes, we must learn. Don't just follow. There's a difference. Don't just follow. Don't just set them up as your models. Learn. Learn from them. Learn from them. If you have to, I offered my services. I don't want to say who now. I don't want to say who. I offered my services to her. She has not taken that offer. She just jonesing me. I don't know if she's ghosting me. I don't know the English they use. I've offered because I know that I have a lot to learn from that person. I've offered how many times my services. Please, let me be your PA. Let me be your PA because see, I'm seeing you from a distance, a relative distance, and I'm thinking, oh, this person has achieved this, this, and this. I'm picking, gems from her life, at least from the little that I can see. But I know that I can't truly learn from her until I come a little bit closer, until I know her journey. So I've offered, let me serve you. Let me serve you. And the aim is to learn from her. It's not to serve because, no, there's nothing else behind it. In fact, there are two persons that I've made that offer to. And in their head, they're looking at, Madam Ngozi, I beg. That's what I am so sure. If I ask them, I'm sure they will tell you that this is what they are thinking. Madam Ngozi wants to come and serve. No, I beg go. Because maybe even in their head, they're seeing me up there. But me, I have seen something in them that I want to learn from. And that is why I've offered my services. Free, I'm not saying pay me. Don't pay me anything. It's me that's coming to learn. No be apprenticeship I won't come to. Apprenticeship. So I'm not asking you to pay me. So in case two of them, they know themselves, in case they are watching, please allow me to come and learn. Allow me to come and learn. That is what I want to do. So ensure that you learn from those that inspire you. Don't just follow them. Don't just admire their lives. Don't even just try to model your life after theirs when you don't know. You don't know their story. You don't know what is behind them. You don't know what they have done. You don't know the journey they have been on. So I think I will bring this to a close here, just to give room in case anybody has any questions or comments that you want to, the questions you want to ask or comments you want to make. But remember, make sure that you truly learn from the people that inspire you. Don't just follow them. Don't just admire them. Learn from them. Find out about their lives. Dig a little and discover, their processes. Discover their habits. Discover the things that they did that got them from point A to point B. Find out. And then tailor the things that you have found out to you. Don't just apply like that. That's another thing. Maybe I forgot to mention this. Not when you go and you study the life of that person and you find out they did A, B, C, and D. You just take it like that and you want to apply it in your own life. It has to be tailored to you, because you are not that person. You just admire that person. So, if we have any questions, remember that this is Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwucholoba, your personal guide in the journey of growth. And let me just mention this. From next week, Growth Habits will only be on Tuesdays. We will not have the Thursday program any longer. I told us that this was supposed to be just for the month of February. So from this month of March, we will be having it once a week, Tuesdays only. Tuesdays, 12 noon is still the time, and it's still right here on Facebook. So our next session is, of course, next Tuesday, and after that is the upper Tuesday. And I will also, like I promised us, I will begin to bring on people that will share their own journey of growth, that will share the things that they did that helped them grow from where they are to where they were to where they are now. And I'm sure you will learn from their journeys. You will learn one thing or the other from their journeys, from the things that they will share and the things that they did. All right, so thank you all once again for joining me this afternoon. If you have any questions, please still ask the questions. Before we go, I will try and answer as many as I see. Any comments? What did you learn? What stuck out to you? What do you intend to practice? I always emphasize this. What do you intend to practice? It's not just to learn and keep it. The things we learn are not for keeping. Knowledge is not for keeping. You don't store it. It's not for storage. It's for usage. So make sure that you don't just store and keep. Use it. Use it. Yeah, so thank you all once again for joining. And those that will even watch this on the replay, thank you. I truly appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted that people show up on the live sessions and that people come up later to watch the sessions. You had options what to do with your time, and you chose to spend it with me. I am truly grateful, and I appreciate your time. Thank you all so much for showing up. Since I can't see any questions, I've scrolled up. I can't see any questions that need attention, and I'm not even seeing the comments of what we're taking away from today, but I believe we're taking away a whole lot from this session this afternoon. So I thank you all once again for joining. Remember, Growth Habits with Ngozi Onwuchiloba every Tuesday right here on Facebook Live, 12 noon. Yes, thank you very, very, very much for joining me this afternoon. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day. And for those that are joining from outside Nigeria, have an awesome day, because it's still morning for you. For those that are joining from the places like Australia that is evening, enjoy the rest of your evening and see you on Tuesday. Thank you very much. See you on Tuesday. Bye.